The Honorable Inia Batikoto Serratu, Minister for Defense, National Security and Policing, Rural and Maritime Development and Disaster Management. The Honorable Faiyaz Koya, Minister for Commerce, Trade, Tourism and Transport. The Honorable, His Excellency Dr. Akihiko Tanaka, President of the Japan International Cooperation Agency, members of diplomatic corps, heads of international organizations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Urabinaka, and very good evening to you all. I warmly welcome you all to come my residence and thank you sincerely for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend this reception. I am privileged to host this reception honoring the visit to Fiji by His Excellency Dr. Tanaka, President of JICA. JICA is Japan's ODA implementing agency and is one of the largest bilateral aid organizations in the world. JICA's annual budget is approximately 153.6 billion Japanese yen. Although the depreciation of the yen has reduced the amount, the JICA budget is approximately 24 billion Fijian dollars. This is about 6.3 times the amount of Fiji's estimated expenditure budget for the current fiscal year. I was not aware that such a large amount of aid is provided every year through JICA. On the other hand, I am well aware that His Excellency Dr. Tanaka does not decide the amount of aid to each country. However, as Japan's ambassador to Fiji, Kiribati now, and Tuvalu, I am still tempted to request him to increase the amount of aid to these 4 countries. Ladies and gentlemen, Japan and Fiji are members of the Pacific family of nations. In addition to our long history of exchange, our solidarity is built upon the pillars of our common values, such as freedom, democracy, and rule of law, respect for human rights and the environment. In recent years, our relationship has grown stronger. In May of this year, Japanese Foreign Minister Mr. Hayashi visited Fiji and met the Honorable Prime Minister Bainimarama. At the beginning of the meeting, the Honorable Prime Minister stated, "We are entering a new era of cooperation." In August, Japanese Prime Minister Mr. Kishida and the Honorable Prime Minister Bainimarama met in New York, and both our leaders reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening Japan-Fiji relations. Fiji is only Pacific Island country to participate in the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, or IPEF. The IPEF ministerial meeting was held in Los Angeles last month, which included the distinguished participation of Honorable Minister Koya. During this meeting, the Japanese Minister for Economy, Trade and Industry, Mr. Nishimura, met Honorable Minister Koya, and both ministers exchanged perspectives respectively. It gives me pleasure to say that Fiji is now an equal economic partner with us. The Honorable Prime Minister Bainimarama and U.S. Secretary of State Mr. Blinken co-chaired the Foreign Ministers meeting of the partners in the Blue Pacific held in New York last month. Fiji has been invited to the G20 summit to be held next month. I think that it is quite evident that Fiji is now elevating its status from a regional leader to a major player in the international community. At the same time, Fiji is a developing country and facing many challenges such as sustainable development and climate change. I'm convinced that it would be a great benefit not only to Japan, but also to the international community, not to mention Fiji, if Japan can help Fiji become more developed and a stronger partner by assisting Fiji in meeting its challenges. Japan is deeply committed to the partners in the Blue Pacific, which is a new support framework by like-minded countries to provide assistance to Pacific Island countries in line with the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific. Japan will continue to provide assistance to Pacific Island countries, including Fiji, not only through bilateral cooperation, but also through multilateral frameworks such as partners in the Blue Pacific. During his stay in Fiji, His Excellency Dr. Tanaka visited many JICA project sites and exchanged views with the Honorable Prime Minister Bainimarama, the Honorable Attorney General, aid agency officials, as well as other stakeholders. I'm sure that His Excellency Dr. Tanaka saw firsthand the effective utilization of JICA assistance in Fiji and recognized the challenges that Fiji is facing. I'm sure that this visit has helped him gain a better understanding of the need of further strengthen JICA's assistance to Fiji. In concluding, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to His Excellency Dr. Tanaka for his visionary leadership of JICA, including his visits to Fiji. I hope that this reception will be an opportunity for active exchange between Japan, Fiji, as well as all our partners and stakeholders present here. Thank you very much.
Honorable Ministers, Honorable Ambassador Kawakami, officials of the Fiji government, representatives of the diplomatic corps, representatives of international institutions, development partners, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Nisambra Binaka, good evening. I'm Akihiko Tanaka, as introduced. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Firstly, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to you all for joining us this evening. Obviously, I have to thank Ambassador Kawakami for hosting this reception. As I was introduced, I was JICA President from 2012 to 2015, and fortunately, I think, I was reappointed last April to assume this current position. As JICA President, this is the third visit to Fiji. And it is a great pleasure for JICA to continue our work in this very beautiful country. Like Fiji and many other Pacific Island countries, Japan is, as you know, also an island country. We share similar features and similar challenges. Since 1997, the Pacific Island countries and Japan has held what's called a Pacific Islands Leaders Meeting, short for PALM, every 3 years to further enhance a partnership. The latest meeting, PALM 9, was held last year, and the Pacific Bond Policy, which we call Pacific Kizuna Policy, was declared with 5 priority areas of cooperation. And these are, first, COVID-19 response and recovery. Second, the sustainable oceans based on the rule of law. And the third, climate change and disaster resilience. Fourth, strengthening foundation for sustainable and resilient economic development. And fifth, people-to-people exchanges and human resource development. These five priority areas are, in my understanding, broadly speaking, well in line with the 7 priority areas of the 2050 strategy of the Blue Pacific continent. JICA has been implementing cooperation activities in each priority area in Fiji and PICs. One of the purposes of this visit, or my visit, is to observe the ongoing activities and understanding the current challenges facing the Pacific Island countries. We have a particular focus in this visit on climate change. That is the single greatest threat in the Pacific. Currently, JICA is implementing projects that contribute to both mitigation and adaptation. The project for hybrid power generation system in the Pacific Island countries is an example of commitment to mitigation that aligns with the Fiji government's efforts to achieve 100% renewable energy by 2036. This is a project to enhance knowledge and skills of technical staff. Yesterday, I visited the training center of Energy Fiji Limited, EFL, in Lautoka, and I found EFL trainers, along with its staff of Ministry of Infrastructure, were very, very, very impressive. I found that EFL is now the regional hub of capacity development. In terms of adaptation, JICA has been supporting disaster risk reduction areas, working closely with related departments and authority, including National Disaster Management Office, Fiji Meteorological Service, Mineral Resource Department, Ministry of Waterways, and National Fire Authority. Our cooperation, utilizing various cooperation schemes, covers a whole disaster management cycle: prevention and mitigation, preparedness, emergency responses, and what we call build back better in recovery and reconstruction. Fiji is a leading country of DRR, disaster risk reduction, in the Pacific. I applaud your leadership to initiate the inaugural Pacific Disaster Ministers meeting with the Nandi Declaration, which was endorsed at the Asia Pacific Ministerial Conference on DRR. In addition to climate change, JICA makes commitments to COVID-19 response, sustainable ocean, economic development, and people-to-people exchanges, as I outlined on the 5 priority areas. Specifically for COVID-19 response and recovery, JICA provided concessional loan to support social and economic stability in Fiji with total amount of 20 billion yen, which was equivalent to 400 million Fijian dollars. With technical assistance, JICA is also supporting the Fiji government's commitment on non-communicable diseases that could complicate the COVID-19 symptoms. I would like to congratulate the Fiji government for its success in putting COVID-19 under control. Also, recent projections of the Fiji economy made by various international institutions is very impressive. From the point of view of a country like Japan, which is suffering from stagnant economy all the time, the projection of the Fiji's economy for the coming year appears almost enviable. But a positive note on recent change in Japan. International travelers traveling to and from Japan, including Fijian, of course, are no longer required mandatory COVID-19 tests on arrival. This will lead to reviving, I think, people-to-people exchanges in person. JICA resumed a volunteer program in May this year, and it is, we are going to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the volunteer program in Fiji next year. The total number of volunteers dispatched to Fiji since 1983 was 700. We would like to keep increasing the number of Japanese volunteers working in this beautiful country. This time, I had opportunities to visit various places in Fiji, and I re-recognize how much Fiji has advanced its development. And now Fiji, as Ambassador mentioned, is a regional hub for the Pacific region and is playing an important role in various sectors, not just in the Pacific, but globally. Such a Fiji's important role is now expanding. And I applaud Fiji is spearheading the world in the field of ocean, climate change, among others. JICA would like to work closely with Fiji in the Pacific and international arena with other development partners represented here. I would like to repeat. I would like to repeat JICA's commitment to work diligently to tackle issues together with the government and people of Fiji and the Pacific. We stress our work on the ground. I think that's our spirit. Binaka Baka Lev. Thank you very much.
His Excellency, Mr. Kawakami Fumihiro, Ambassador of Japan to Fiji, His Excellency Dr. Tanaka, Akihiko, JICA President, Honorable Minister Seriratu, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Ohayou gozaimasu, Bolominaka, and a good evening to all of you. Please allow me to extend my warmest welcome to you, Excellency Dr. Tanaka, to Fiji. I know, unfortunately, you're only here for 3 days, but as Minister for Tourism, I'm going to complain. You should be here for a week, sir. Especially after you've been away for so long. My hearty congratulations also on your reappointment. Excellency, as you know, JICA is a valuable partner in Fiji's sustainable development. And your visit, Excellency, speaks volumes of JICA's commitment to Fiji and also to the rest of the Pacific. And more importantly, it's a testament to over 3 decades long worth of friendship that we actually share. Ladies and gentlemen, Excellencies, the Japan Foreign Minister's visit to Fiji in May this year significantly elevated our engagement and further solidified our high-level commitment. And it gives me great pleasure to say that a few days after we celebrated Fiji's 52nd year of independence, we are glad to have His Excellency Dr. Tanaka, who heads one of our closest development partners amongst us. I want to take this opportunity also, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our government and the people of Fiji, and on behalf of our Honorable Prime Minister, to say that we sincerely appreciate His Excellency Dr. Tanaka and JICA and the government of Japan for all the support that has actually been provided to Fiji. As mentioned earlier, the government of Japan's loan through JICA, worth approximately US $200 million, dispersed in 2021 and 2022, helped us effectively implement our COVID-19 response. This support, combined with our own resilience and the resilience of our people, pivoted Fiji to safely open our international borders. Our visitor numbers from January to September this year tells us that we have recovered over 60% of visitors from the same period pre-COVID. And these numbers translate to thousands of jobs being restored, so the impacts are extremely, extremely meaningful. In the same period, ladies and gentlemen, the Japanese government and JICA disbursed a disaster standby loan to Fiji worth US $50 million for tropical cyclone and natural disaster recovery and reconstruction. Excellencies, I'm sure you know how near and dear climate resilience is to us and how much we appreciate this. As mentioned quite a few months ago by the Honourable Minister in a very, very public, very world forum, the biggest threat to Fiji's security is climate change. And I think we couldn't have said it any better. But through the partnership with the Japanese government, ladies and gentlemen, and our regional countries, we are able to continue dialogue through the Pacific Island Leaders Meeting, PALM, to expedite climate action and to enhance disaster risk reduction. We have pursued further our cooperation through the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent, launched by the Honourable Prime Minister Bainimarama on the margins of the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York last month. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also pleased, and very pleased, to learn that Japan can support this strategy through the partners in the Blue Pacific framework. Excellencies, multilaterally, Fiji this year became a member of the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, joining 13 other major economies, including Japan, and most recently we joined the G20 as a non-member. Having such partnerships actually allows us the opportunity to provide more to Fijian businesses, to become more climate resilient, and also to create more opportunities. And in tangent, the Fijian government will continue to create an enabling business environment for ease of doing business, allowing more investment hinged on modernized reforms. Not only are we making it easy for Japanese investors to do business in Fiji, but again, we're making it easy for you to holiday here. Whilst we are tracking well, ladies and gentlemen, the recent announcement of the new mitigated border measures by the government of Japan will surely aid in a full recovery by 2024. Pre-COVID, the Japanese market was actually growing. It was a growing visitor market for Fiji, and that was made possible through very strong collaboration. Excellency, as has our friendship and people-to-people ties serves us well in some of our greatest times, I'm certain that with even stronger collaboration now we can deepen our partnership in terms of tourism, in terms of trade and economic development. Japan and Fiji, ladies and gentlemen, share a long-standing relationship in good times and in bad. And JICA has provided technical assistance in the area of disaster resilience and capacity building, to name a few, and continues to do so. This is the value of our friendship. We value our friendship, and we look forward to exploring areas of shared interest in the development of our MSMEs and clean energy, and enhance investment opportunities and future-proofing our economies. Coming back to today's event, ladies and gentlemen, I thank His Excellency Dr. Tanaka for his inspiring words and his exemplary leadership of JICA and giving priority to Fiji's development needs. I wish you a safe return, Excellency, on the return leg of this particular visit, and I hope your visit contributes meaningfully to JICA's partnership with Fiji, as well as to further strengthening our friendship with Japan, between the governments and the peoples of Fiji. We welcome you back as soon as you leave. You're permitted to come back because you are now family, sir. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.